This was my second to last block of time off before I ended the contract in Arizona. And this week I just decided to try to spend time with friends. This was some of the flower stuff in Gallup, just walking around the backyard of USA RV Park with Hiker. The rain really brought out the flowers back there. But yeah, just spent this last little block off with friends. Was invited to Navajo Feast Day and butchering. So me and my friend Jen picked up a sheep from her friend and took it to her mom's house and then had some butchering, which I'll show a brief clip of. I kind of cut down on it. I had filmed more, but for anybody sensitive with animal stuff, just wanted to kind of show a brief clip and then jump on. But you can see how beautiful Gallup got by the time I left. Some beautiful sunsets, all the flowers out. This only lasted about 2-3 weeks. Everything was brown by the time I left again. We started off with a weekend at the Gallup Flea Market, which I just shot a brief clip of. I wish I'd shot more, but it was with friends, so they were kind of short things. And then I was invited to a Navajo Feast Day. I'll show a brief clip of butchering here. Me and my friend Jen picked up a sheep from her friend and then brought it to her mom's house to do the butchering. And I'll just keep it brief because some folks may be sensitive with animal stuff, so that was just a brief clip of it. But it was an interesting experience. Also got to help with reshingling one of the guys' roofs out there while we were there. Just kind of made use of the time. I had some tools in the truck and they had some family over to help with resurfacing that roof. So we kind of all pitched in and got it covered. Butchering was very interesting. They make use of every part of the animal. Our next part was picking up some other friends in Durango, and I started out from Gallup, and I really wanted to share the $1 Million Highway with them, one of the prettiest drives I've ever had. So our plan was to pick them up in Durango, pick up my friend Jen, and then we would go up to Ouray, share a few short hikes, and then the plan was to find somewhere nice for dinner in Telluride. A lot of beautiful stops, and a nice drive. This is just kind of the overview here. So Gallup to Durango, picking up, then jumping up to Ouray for some quick hiking. Very nice afternoon, and then over to Telluride for dinner. This is our first hike, Lower Cascade Falls. I think it's like a 1 mile, maybe 1.2 there and back kind of hike. But
I got it. Maybe.
Pretty, although it didn't have as much water as the last time I was here. It was really cascading over these rocks the last time, but it's kind of barely a sprinkle now. Had some dry spells there. And then we jumped over to Lower Box Canyon Falls. This was it's a pay entrance kind of city park situation, but really interesting. They've got this scaffolding that takes you into the Box Canyon. Very, very pretty. Again, very short hike, very easy. There's a little bit of uphill, but nothing too strenuous. Everybody thought this was pretty cool. It's funny, there's a sign down at the bottom that says don't get in the water, and some dude was like running around on the scaffolding and got in the water, and there's apparently a camera up there, and when we got back to the visitor center they were calling in, I guess, to security or the police or whatever, that they should check this dude out. So they take it seriously, I guess. I don't know why they don't want you in the water necessarily, but we behaved ourselves, unlike some people. It's funny, you get that almost glacial gray water look to it. I'd been to this hike before and it was pretty, but I never went to or didn't figure out where the upper falls were. So we actually figured that out on the return, and all decided to go up there, and glad we did. It was very interesting. I'll show that in a few minutes. It's quite the scaffolding. I mean, to build all that into the canyon. Again, there was more water last time, but still, pretty good show. There's an old, you can see a platform there. It was probably like a, what do you call it, water wheel. I don't know whether it was generating something or whatnot, but there was something there at one point. There may have also been a dam upstream, I don't know. I think you kind of need more water than that to really get a lot of action out of a wheel. See the Upper Box Canyon Bridge up there that actually leads to kind of a cave through the rock, and the trail would continue. That's where we headed next after this part. See some more of that platform there that must have had the water wheel on it. Next up, we found the turnoff for the Upper Box Canyon Falls, which was another short hike, a little bit steeper, more steps. And then we got up to this part, which I had not been to before, so it was kind of fun.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go.
Reminded me a lot of Black Canyon of the Gunnison, which is a little bit south of Grand Junction in Colorado. Very steep, very hard, granite-y kind of surface. We thought this was kind of a dead end, and didn't realize until we walked to the end of this bridge that there's actually kind of a cave or a tunnel through the rock, and it takes you to the other side. This is looking out on town of Ouray here, just nestled in this little valley. Very pretty. So many towns in Colorado are like this, just kind of tucked into little valleys at the foot of the mountain. In this case, there's mountains all around Ouray. I think there's only one way in and out of town. I would imagine the roads get kind of dicey in the winter with the ice and the snow.
No one ever answers. Every stranger smile I carry in my mind's eye everywhere I go. Headlong into mystery, following my history back home. They're gonna hear my heartbeat like a rolling thunder. There's a fire starting where the wild things wander.
This is looking through the bridge to where we were below. Just trying to get it to focus here. There we go. There's the scaffolding down there. Pretty cool. And this is the little tunnel. There was actually a light in here. I don't know how they powered it. Reminded me of some, there the light just turned on. It reminded me of some of the tunnels in and around Grand Canyon and some of the trails that went through the tunnels. And you can see here, the trail would continue around. I think it loops back down below where we started, but we ended up turning around there and going back. We had to make dinner and we didn't know how long the trail was, so it's been just a nice time, relaxing day with friends. Glad I got to spend it with them before ending. It was almost a year in Arizona with these folks and working with them. Really great group of people to work with. Like I say, we found a nice restaurant in Telluride, had dinner. Didn't shoot a lot of footage of that, it was just friends getting together. Very pretty, relaxing evening. Next time off, next block of time is going to be a trip down south to pick up some of the last national park spots that I haven't been able to hit yet in New Mexico and Arizona. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back, and then after that, ending up the contract in Arizona and moving on back to California. See you next week.